Day 5. We're going to talk about and journal on making peace with emotional eating. We often confuse hunger and this insatiable desire for more material things with what we truly need. And what we truly need is usually more primary foods, nourishment. And that isn't the foods we put in our mouth. Primary needs nourishment are connection, love, purpose, movement, happiness, pleasure, spirituality, purpose, and fulfillment. So you need to start thinking about the things that give you this kind of satiation, that fill you up with these kinds of primary foods. And so when those aspects of our life are balanced and consistently nourished, we think about the foods we put in our mouth much, much less. Secondly, secondary food, so what we literally consume for energy, which is, carbohydrates and fats and proteins and things like that. They're something that we just put in our body to create energy so we can keep doing the things that we want to do. But when we're trying to fill the void of primary foods with secondary foods, then we start to become obsessive with it and we start to think and obsess and agonize over food. Using secondary food to relieve our hunger for primary food for life is what throws our minds and bodies out of sync. So in this journaling practice, what we're going to do is explore what truly nourishes you outside of food. Okay, so let's begin. Place a hand on your heart and the other one over the top and close your eyes for a moment. We're going to connect inwards and then pick up your journal or your notebook or your planner. Hopefully you have one of these by now. And then join me in answering these 4 journaling questions. First one, do food thoughts take up a lot of space in your life? Just answer that question. Do food thoughts take up a lot of space in your life? I personally have struggled with using the idea that I could control food, so how much I eat and what I eat, when I feel out of control in other areas of my life. So when I feel out of control in other areas of my life, which honestly we can't control much except for how we respond to life, but when I feel unable to or without the resources I need to handle life, then I have a tendency to use food and eating as a place where I can feel more in control. And the more stressed and out of control I feel in other parts of my life, which means that I'm not taking care of the primary foods aspects, like maybe I'm not happy. Often when I'm quite unhappy, like the controlling food thing comes in for me. And I do have a tendency to obsess about it and think about it. And it's something that I'm working really, really devotedly on at the moment. Really changing my relationship to food and the way that I think and feel about it. It's something that I'm working on. Okay, second question. What are some of the things in your life that serve as primary food? So for me, creativity, huge primary food nourisher, for lack of a better word. Connection, like connection to others, feeling connected, feeling like I'm a part of something, having community, hugely nourishing for me. Love, of course. else is really nourishing for me? For sure, movement. Like when I move my body and spend time in nature, I feel nourished and I feel less hungry. But I would say connection is one of the number one areas that if I don't feel connection with people, I would try and fill that with food. What about you? Feel free to share if you feel comfortable to. Sorry, it's Sunday and I'm a little bit slow. My period just started, so I'm not quite with it as much as I could be. So, third question. About three, yes. Third question. What can you do today to nourish yourself fully? I personally am having a really quiet one, and I'm reading a novel that I'm enjoying so much, and it really fills out that aspect of indulgence even, and just feeling good about spending time quietly with myself while I let my body do the wonderful things that it does. And then last question. What is it that you need today? What is it that you need today? For me, I really need exactly what's happening, which is just a quiet day to myself. I'm really grateful that I get to have that today, and it was not planned. I actually injured my back yesterday, and so I decided to cancel all my social plans for today, and it was exactly the right decision because it was exactly what I needed. So what do you need today? Write it down. This is a really quick one, and I will hope it's one that you can return to over and over again.